Okay, so here is a video kind of demoing how to get set up and making these sheets by yourself pretty easily using Word. I would recommend that you should link it with the cloud. I'm linking mine with Dropbox so that every time I save, it saves on the cloud, and then I can link any other computers I might have, like my work computer or like a desktop computer, to the same Dropbox, and then every time I save it on my laptop, it's automatically updated on my desktop or my school computer. The reason I use Dropbox was because Google Drive linking that through your computer was actually blocked at Northampton. So if it's not blocked at your school, feel free to use that too. But I'm using Dropbox. It's the same thing. So we only want to go here and watch. When you download Dropbox and put it actually on your computer, not just a website, you have this Dropbox folder. I'm using a Mac. It looks the same pretty much on Windows. You go here, and I created a folder called Math 2018-2019. Okay, that's the one. Say you're getting started for this year, that's what you could put it in. And so what we want to start doing is you want to first make a template so that you can use this every time you want to create a new sheet. And this will do the easy way to make a template. Okay, so if you double click at the top, you'll get the header. So I'll show you again. You just double click right at the very top, you get the header. We're going to do our template. So we're going to say day. Dash number, because we'll fill these in every time we make a new sheet. And we'll do week, number, and then colon. We'll insert the title here. Okay, and then what we're going to do is you click home. Let's go. Oops. So right here. The way you go, if I wanted to align something on the other end, you hit tab, and then we're going to write student name, and then put a spot for them to put their name, okay? Awesome. So now what we're going to do is we're going to insert a line. So you go insert, and then you put the shapes. And then to keep your line straight, as you click and drag, you're going to hold shift. And so you can do that real fast. There's our line, because we're going to put our do now in between thick black bars. So you're going to go to make it black. We can go to wait, and let's make this like wait for. There we go. So now the quick way to copy and paste, you just click it and hit Control C, Control V. There you go. Or yeah, so let's say we want to make our template that big. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to insert a text box. And you say draw a text box. Here's the key with drawing these text boxes. Okay, so you draw them like that, and then let's say we'll call this do now one, and then we'll leave it blank so we can put the instructions. And then so the quick way to bold and underline is Control B, Control U. As you see right here, watch Control B turns it on or off, on and off, and holding Control U turns the underline on and off, on and off. So that's, if you see me do that, that's how I did it. And then so we'll say instructions, and watch this. Like I said, if you click the outside of these boxes, you can't. A lot of times you need to make sure to click the outside, then you hit Control C. If you hold them both down at the same time, Control V. Now we have another box, okay? So watch, if we wanted to make sure these boxes had outlines, we go to Shape Format and just hit Shape Outline. Let's make their outline black. And there you go. And so with both of them clicked, watch, I could actually extend both of them at the same time and then just kind of move this. Okay? You can align, so watch this. Let's see. Where's my align? There it is. So say you wanted to align them in the middle together. So if I click align middle, actually I need to click both of them at the same time. So watch this. If you hold down Control and click both of them, then you go to align middle, then it lines them both middle. So say this was moved a little off. If I click this one, hit Control, hold it down, and click that one, you go to align middle. Yep, it lines them up, and then you could just adjust them like that. So the deal is, watch this. I'm having trouble moving this guy like above anywhere. The reason is you want to go right click, you want to say wrap text, and you want to say in front of text. Okay. So now look, I can move it as high as I want or as far over, which is great, which is what I want. Okay, so you would have to do that for all of these, but I like doing, instead of doing it for all of them, just delete this. Watch. This one is already said, watch, wrap text, it stays in front of text. So watch, you just Control C, Control V. Oops. Oh, that was an instance where I didn't click outside of the box before I pasted it, so it pasted it inside the box. You need to Control C, click outside the box, and then Control V. There you go. Now you can line them up. Okay, so then we might want to maybe move these down a little. And then watch this, Control C, Control V. Say I want to have do now instructions that says complete all the following questions. I can, if you hold Control as you're moving it, you see how it's moving in jumps? But if I hold Control, it moves in smaller jumps. So I can get that more fine control. And then I'm going to extend this out. Watch, this one I don't want to have an outline, so I go shape outline, no outline. And all I'm going to say is do now, maybe underline as well. So if you watch, okay, it's already underlined, cool. So, the reason you can't see the underline is because, yeah, we just need to drag it down a little more. Alright, do now answer all of the following questions. There we go. Let me change that to the second one. There you go. Okay, so then maybe we want to watch. If I right click, make sure, yep, it's already in front of text. Awesome. So look, you can just copy. Oops, I forgot to click outside. Now I'll paste it here. Oops. Let me get rid of that. So click here, Control C, click outside, Control V. There we go. We just move it down. Let's change this into our title block. So say, and you'll see what this means in a second. We just hit the middle line key when we're at the home bar, and we'll just say lesson title. We'll fill that in with whatever we want. Okay. And then all you really need is, I'll hit Control C. For the problems, I like putting boxes around, but for notes, I like just leaving a no outline. So watch this. I could say insert notes here. And because I'm copying and pasting this one, look, all of these boxes, if you right click on them, will already say this in front of text so we can move them wherever we want, which is kind of nice. That's why I like copying boxes instead of doing a new text box every time. So I'm going to say insert notes here. There we go. Now you pretty much have your template. There we go. So watch this. You're going to save this. The quick way to save is Control S, or you can come in here, File, Save. And so, yeah, you navigate Dropbox, or if you use Google Drive, go to your Google Drive folder, and then go to Math. And then I'm just going to call this my sheet template. Okay. Boom. Okay, so now what you can do is you can make a. This is how I use my template. This is the easy way, I think. If you hit Control N, or you can go to New Document. So for Mac users, and when I say Control, I mean Command. If you hit Command N, you get a new document. And so say I want to name this, let's see, I'm gonna redo the Monday sheet that we walked through. I'm gonna show you how I built that. So all you gotta do, watch this. You come over here, let's go to our our sheet template. If you hit, for Windows users, you do Control. For Mac users, use Command A. It selects everything, and you go Control C for copying, and then now we don't really need it anymore. And then you click here and you hit Control V. Okay, boom. It pastes your template there. Okay, so now we really don't need our template, so we can exit out of it. And then what? So let's say, let's do the Monday sheet. So I come here and I just change this to, let's see how long this takes. So it's 4:11 right now. So let's go Monday, 7:23. Okay, so I filled in those numbers. And then week 6, and let's give this the title of multiplying and dividing decimals. Okay, so it went to the other line. Just come here and hit the backspace button until you get it where you want. And if you want to align it to the right side, just hit the tab button. There you go. Okay, so for the do now, what I wanted was to, let's say, add the two decimals. I'll say show work below. But I don't want that to all be on just, that to be on two different lines. Watch it. I just come here. I want to make that a little smaller. You'll have to adjust the sizes a lot of times to make it look like you want. Okay, cool. And so, like, if you want to align the two numbers, you just click right here, center text. Let's add 5.5 and 7.5. Okay, and all you have to do from now is hit enter, 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 enter. Go all the way down. Let's align it to the left, and let's just do the answer choices. Okay. And let's make one answer choice, like 11, another answer choice 13, another answer choice 15, another answer choice 17. Okay, so actually on the sheet, I wanted another box below it being do now too. So I'm going to make this a little shorter, and you can scroll up. Remember, if you hit command or control, you get to shrink it by smaller sizes, which is kind of nice. And watch, I want to put something below it, so I'm just going to kind of, you can double click here, and you can kind of, oops, didn't work for that. If you hit control or command, you can select everything you want and just move it down a little. Because the reason is I want to put, I'll copy this. I want to put another guy right here. So it looks like I need to move this down a little more. Or actually, let's just make this a little shorter. And then backspace so you can see it. Let's just make them a little shorter. So Command C, Command B. There we go. Okay, change that to 2. And now I'm going to, instead of add the two decimals, I'm going to subtract. Okay, and I wanted that all on the same line, so maybe this comes down to 10.5. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try 10. There we go. Okay, so I wanted them to subtract the decimals, 20.5 and 3.5. Okay, so now in this third one, so that was the do now 2. So I need to do, I had a do now 3 on that guy. So I said, this is like if you want to give them, something other than math to do. Give me 2 real-life scenarios where you need to add or subtract decimals. Okay, and then so a lot of times that we would have covered that in a previous class, but just to remind them, I would give them a teacher example because maybe they maybe they don't trust us. If you have $1.25, but you need to pay your friend 50 cents, or something like that. And watch, if you had an old sheet, you could just copy and paste it from an old sheet and just change the numbers a little. So like for example 2, maybe I'll say if it is 75.6, and then if I want to put the degree sign, if you come over here and you go to insert, this is where you can get a lot of the math. You go to if you hit the equation button, usually there should be a degree sign. Yeah, watch, degree Fahrenheit. There we go. Cool. If it's that outside and the temperature goes, we'll say down 5.5. And then watch, instead of going to that, I'm just going to copy that. Cool. Okay, so now I want them to do it, so I'm going to do student real life scenario. I want them to give me 2 scenarios. So I'll do one, and then to do another, you just hit shift the underscore. You can go here, and then you can. Oh, so watch. What it did. So what it did is I hit enter, and it turned it into like underscore thing, and that was if you'll watch. Why I did that is I hit enter, and this thing means it like did it automatically. If you want to undo anything it does automatically, just hit Command or Control Z, and there we go. We got our line back. Okay, we'll take another one, and then watch. Let's do this again, but let's just give them a spot for scenario 2. There we go. Okay, so we are done our do now, and now I'm gonna do our title. So the title of the lesson was multiplying and dividing decimals. Okay, so the notes, a lot of times I don't like having a border around, so I'm going to change, if you go here, let's go shape outline, I want no outline, okay? So that's the notes, but before we do the notes, let's make sure I copied and pasted that same sheet, and let's just write our I can statements. So what we're doing now is we're kind of making the teacher sheet, and you'll see later, we'll do the blanks later. And this really helps with brainstorming these sheets. You just write it all out, then you do the blanks. So watch this. Let's say the I can statements. Let's say the first one, and remember the quick way to get rid of the bold and underline is Control B, Control U, turns it off as you see up here. I'll say explain. Oh, so look, it automatically indented my numbers. If I didn't want them to do that, watch. I'm just hit Control Z, and then it bumps it back. There we go. Explain real life scenarios where you need to use multiplying and dividing decimals. Second thing we're going to learn is multiply and divide. Let's say simple decimals. The last one is we're going to say multiply and divide harder decimals. Okay, so I don't want to take up that much space, so I can just watch here. Let me change it to font 11. Well, I want to make it smaller. There we go. Now I don't have to use that much space. Boom. Okay, so those are my I can't statements. I'm going to put in the blanks later. Don't worry. Okay, so now for the notes. So watch. There's an interesting thing. I could start my notes up here. You see how that box goes over that, but I can still see if I clicked away, I can still see the title. That's because if you go to shape format, if the fill is set to no fill, then it'll show anything behind it. But if you set it to like white, it would like cover it. So sometimes you want to like make sure to cover things, sometimes you don't. So this time I don't really care. So I'm going to go to shape fill and go to no fill. Okay, so now I'm just going to start typing the note. And if I had other sheets to work off of, I would just copy and paste maybe some notes I had from a previous thing. Because right here, what I want to do is I want to say review of multiplying. So if I had a sheet talking about multiplying, I would copy and paste that notes from there, probably. But this time I have to write them out. So I would say, let's see, the concept. And the reason for these notes, you kind of need to get them. Like, you can get people engaged real easy with fill in the blanks. So the concept, and when we double, triple, or quadruple, let's say ETC, to make something bigger. So obviously multiplying doesn't always make something bigger, and we're going to learn that in another lesson, that you can multiply by the decimal to make it smaller, but now they really just think that multiplying makes things bigger. So the notes, so they don't take up as much room, let's change them to like font size 10. Let me get my charger real quick. Alright. Alright, cool. So, I might give them, if I want them to come up with real life examples, the scaffolding, I really like giving them an example. So if I wanted to, I can hit it, just indent it a little and say, real life example 1. Okay, and maybe I hit enter and tab. So maybe if I did 10 push-ups the first day, and then 20 push-ups on the next day. Let's see, or I'll say, and then doubled it the next day to 20 push-ups. Like that's an example of me multiplying by 2. So first off, I don't like how that looks. Let's make this a little smaller, see if it looks nicer. I can extend this out so it's all on one line. There we go, that looks nice. And then what I don't want them just to do the real life example. I'll say what numbers do multiply. So I'm giving them the example this time. They can still give me the numbers I multiplied. And so obviously it's what, 10 times 2? There you go. Let's do another real life example. Just to show. And so this one, maybe I'd ask them to do it. So watch. I can come copy this, Control C. And again, let's hit Tab. Actually, let's just underscore it. There we go. Let's let them come up with this one. So someone in the class can come up with that one. And so we ask them again, what numbers do we multiply? And that kind of gets them thinking, what does multiplication actually mean before we get into what multiplying with decimal means, okay? So because I didn't have an answer for that one, they're going to come up with one. Okay, and now what you do, you can Control C, Control V. Let's make another section of notes. And like I said, I'm just making this like the one we went over in this section. Now that we reviewed what multiplying really means conceptually, let's talk about multiplying decimals. Okay. And I like just copying and pasting it so it automatically includes the same font size and it looks nice. Let's see. When we multiply by not a whole number, that's what it means to multiply by decimal. So I gotta give them a couple examples of what a decimal looks like, or want them to come up with it. And you'll see later we're gonna add in blanks where we want them. So here's a real life example. So say if you have to pay, let's say, I don't know, $14.50 to get into the gym every day, pretty pricey gym, and you go to the gym, let's say 20 days, okay? Again, I would kind of want to ask them, just like we did here, this is at scaffolding, we started with the easy multiplication, okay? What numbers do we multiply here, okay? And then maybe I want to underline these. I think that makes it look a little nicer. Underline, okay. Alright, and then so maybe we'll do another one just to show them. Watch this. I like the more copying and pasting you do, the better, because then you can just replace them and they all look really nice. Maybe another example is your teacher, if you order we're saying half a sub, so half a foot long, meatball sub at Subway, for 20 of your students. Alright, well, because we use 20 up here, let's use another number, we'll use 25. And obviously here, if you wanted to put it, you could put 1450 times 20, and here we would put 0.50 times 25. Okay, those are just examples. And then watch, if we wanted them to come up with other examples, Control C, Control V, watch, we could put this over here. And watch, if you want to select everything real quick, you hit Control or Command A, and then you can delete it inside the box, and we'll say other decimal. So say you have time and they're going really quick through it, you can have the students come up with some. So you can come up with examples of decimals. So you do example 1. Let's come up with some. Give them 2 lines to come up with some. And it all, the point is you can put as much on here as you want, and then, oops, you see how it automatically pushed it up? I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that. And then, there you go. You can put as much as you want, and you can skip it if you don't have time. There you go. Okay, those look pretty clean. Hopefully there's no questions about that. And then, so now we get to the meat of it, and when it says, okay, how do we multiply these decimals? And you'll see, once we start doing these problems, the copy and pasting becomes a lot easier. So I'm going to copy and paste that down here. And like I said, I just copy and paste it so it automatically, look, it's automatically in front of the text so I can move it wherever I want, and it has a lot of the formatting I want. You want to get rid of it all, you hit Control A, and then you can delete it. So let's say how we multiply decimals. So this time, let's see, and that's it. I don't want it to indent, so I'm going to hit Control Z. Okay. So the first time, when we write how to multiply decimals, we want to write the number of decimal places in the first and second number. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to add the number of decimal places in the first and second number to get the new decimal. Okay, so it's what I'm calling the new decimal. You can call it whatever you want. It's just like come up with a step-by-step process. Helps a lot. Multiply numbers without any decimals is our step 5. And then we're going to add the new decimals to the number. And so to make an arrow, you go minus sign, and then greater than sign. It automatically turns it to an arrow. So we're going to slide the decimal to the right and fill in any blanks with 0. Okay, but I want to include the how to do it over here. So watch this. I just need to make this a little shorter. The other thing I need to do, oh, look, that looks kind of ugly, right? So what you have to do is watch. You have to hit Enter here, and then you can hit Tab, and then that looks a lot nicer, okay? The other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to change this add. I want to emphasize this because the only thing you really change for dividing is you subtract the number of decimal places. So I'm going to bump this up to like 24, and let's bold and plug it like that. So now it's cut it off, so now I just need to slide it back down. Okay, maybe just move that so it looks a little better. Okay, so now I need to create my box on how to practice. Okay, so watch. If I want a box, I can just come out here, Control C, double click, Control V. Okay, so now here's where I'm going to do our practice one. Okay, so I come here, practice one. And let's see, what I want them to do is I want them now to multiply 5.1 and 0.21, okay? So the way I created, this is when you have to kind of stop and think and take time definitely to do this well and to come up with a good visual representation, because if you come up with a good one, you just copy and paste your good one and they'll really get it. So the one I came up with may not be the best, but I just came up with it, is I'd say, okay, step 1 and 2 is where we write the number of decimal places for the first and second number, and we add the number of decimal places in the first and second to get the new decimal. So the visual I created is if you do this, and you have a little underscore, and you have an underscore, you can watch this. We're going to create, I'm going to insert a new box. So insert text box, draw text box, and have this guy right here. Alright, if you hit the Command or Control, you can move it. Otherwise, look, it jumps around. If you hit Command or Control, there you go, a little nicer. So these are going to be the boxes they put the numbers in. So I'm going to go to, I want to outline it maybe in blue. Okay, nice. And then Control C, and then click outside of the box, and then Control V, so you don't paste it inside the box. Boom. And then I want to stress that I want them to multiply this. So I'm going to go. Watch, you go to the end of this line. Remember, the boxes they're just on top of this box. So I'm going to hit Enter, just kind of tab it over. Yep, I'm going to next. So now it looks like, okay, there's a spot for them to write the boxes, put the decimals in, and let's say equals, and put a blank. I'm just hitting, I'm going to enter, oops, so I'm just going to hit the down arrow, and then tab over and write new decimal. There we go. That's where they put the new decimal. Okay, so now watch this. Control C, click outside, Control V. This is where I want them to do their calculations. Okay, so you notice, watch, it can't move below this. That's because, watch, if I right click, I need to make sure it's in front of the text, okay? So because I hadn't copied one of the other boxes already, watch this. I'll Control C both of them. Or sorry, if I just click the both of them, the way you do is you hold Command or Control at the same time and you click both of them. And we're going to change them in front of the text, okay? So now that shouldn't give us a problem. We can move it wherever we want. Alright. So then you come here, and then you say, if I wanted to, make sure I'm inside the box. Oops, I'm going to move that guy back up. Move it where I want, and then, watch here, I can say, step 3, this is where I want them to do the calculation. Okay, that looks pretty nice. And then I'll enter. So this is like kind of you're doing in the text box, and these things are just sitting on top of the text box. Okay, and then here's where they'll put their answer. And then watch, I'll have a spot where they'll put their final answer. Oops, too far. Put a tab on over here. Okay, so the last thing I'm missing, I just need some arrows. So watch, I go insert. Let's see, I need to go to shapes. And I go, I just drag right there. There's a shape. If you want to turn it, you just click this button. If you want to make it sure it's 90 degrees, hold shift. And it jumps it to those like nice angles. And then let me just move that. So watch, I can click that, Control C, and then click the outside, Control V. I can move that over here. And I want, oh, look, watch, I can't move it any lower, so I need to right click, wrap text in front of text. I'll do the same thing with that. Right click in front of text. There you go. I go here, and I can just rotate that. If I hold shift, it automatically jumps to that 270 degree. That makes it pretty nice. I want to make this a little shorter. There we go. So this kind of shows them graphically. Take the new decimal plus your other answer and turn it into your final answer. Okay, so that was pretty nice. Okay, let me show you one thing. So now that we think we finished this, if you control, remember, there's one big text box that's outlined in black, and then we have this one, that one, and these two arrows kind of on top of it. So if I hold down Command for Mac or Control for Windows, and I click all of them, what I can do, watch, is I can go to Shape Format, and I can go to this thing called Group, and it makes my life easier. Watch this. Now they're all one thing, which is kind of nice. So to get to the next page, just double-click here and hit Enter until it goes to the next page. And watch, if I hit, the beauty of grouping it, if I hit this and do Control-C, Control-V, watch, it pasted another thing right there. And look, this is an instance where I don't want to see the thing behind it. So if I come to Shape Format, I want to go to Shape Fill, and I want to go to white. But look, because we grouped them all together, it turns every fill to white. So say if you don't want your arrows looking like that, what you can do is Control-Z to undo it. You can click like this. You can ungroup it, and now they're all separate, and you can click the box just itself and hit Shape Fill White. But the deal is if I move the box now, the others don't move with it, which kind of messes it up. So then if you want to do that and then regroup them, you could. And then I regrouped them, boom, and I moved them over here. So say I want to make this, so the one thing I kind of want to change to this is I want to add some answer choices for these guys. So here's the deal. Look, it's kind of hard for me to edit this when it's a group. Sometimes it is, but like if you're editing it and you're having trouble, like that's not bad. Like you definitely could. There's always the option to ungroup it, and then you can easily edit the box. So let's add some answer choices here. Okay, so what I want to do is now the problem I want to do, we're going to call this practice 2 because we did practice 1 on the first page. Let's multiply 0.41 and 0.06, okay? And so the answer choices, I know the correct answer is 0.246, okay? And I'm just going to make up some answer choices I know not correct, okay? Yeah, let's make that an answer choice, and then let's make this an answer choice. So this answer choice might even be fun to talk about. This one right here, if I change it to, let's change it to 2.565, you could automatically know that this is not going to be correct based on the number of decimals that should be there. So see if like a student could pick up on that. Because as you see, there should be 4 decimals. Okay, so awesome, that worked. So now that I have the answer choice, watch, I can regroup these if I wanted. And the benefit of regrouping them is you get to copy and paste them all as one. Oops. Let's see if the grouping works. Yeah, there we go. Okay, but here's the deal. Look, it looks like these are a little too fat. So let's see if we shift them over. That kind of messes things up, okay? So what we're going to have to do, Control Z, undoes a bunch of stuff. I just want to make this a little shorter. So, and watch, making it shorter, if it's grouped, messes up everything, kind of. So it looks like all I really need to do, click outside and then click in. If I make that smaller, okay, that doesn't seem to mess up things yet. Oh, I'm going to move it out a little. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, let's see if that size will work. Move it all the way over, kind of. Control V. Still a little. So we get rid of that. I don't want it anymore. We'll just hit Control V. Okay, so maybe I'll just make this a little shorter even more. Make this a little shorter. Because the reason it's messing up is because it's running into those lines. Make that even shorter. Now let's try this. Okay. Okay, I'd be happy with that. So I can move this guy over. Move that guy over a little. They're kind of overlapping a little, but not too bad. And then watch. Now this gets the benefit of the copy paste. Let's change this to practice 3. Let's multiply. Let's try to give them a little change and make this 7 so they actually don't see a decimal, so they have to recognize it as a 0. And then 6.32. The correct answer is, we'll put the correct answer right here, 44.24, and I'm just going to make up answers. Because if I make them up, they're probably not really close at all. 42.15, and I don't know, I can even leave that answer right there. Alright, so watch. And then if I hit Control or hold Command and select both of them, I hit Control C, Control V, boom, you have other ones now. And so watch this. Now, these are, I want them to be the student ones, okay? So this, I want this to be student 1 and student 2. Okay, so what you'll have to do is you can ungroup this. If I want to change the outline, watch. It's going to be hard to change the outline. If you come here, if they're grouped and you want to maybe outline them with dashes, watch what's going to happen if they're all grouped together. Everything changes to dashes, which is not what I want. So I'm going to undo that and maybe watch. I'll delete this. I don't want this guy. And let's just do this guy. So I'm going to ungroup him so that the change I make will only apply to the outside box. I'm going to change his outline. I want dashes. So I'm going to go to the third one. And then I want to make him a little, the dashes a little thicker. So I'm going to go right here. Okay, there we go. And then now, watch. I can regroup them. And then watch. I can just copy. Okay, oops, that didn't work. Are they all grouped? Oops, I don't think I included. So I'll undo that. And then I will group everything now. Okay. Control C, Control V. Boom. Now that's looking nice, okay? So all I need to do, click here, change it to student column 2. Let's change these numbers. Let's have them practice on 0.040 and 0.65. I know the correct answer is, let's see. I'm not really going to do it in my head. I'm just going to copy and paste these answer choices. I got from the answers. And so another thing is, in case you don't know, you can always put a calculator on your computer. So say, so this is how I usually work. Like so if I wanted to quickly find the answer without doing it by hand, I could do this. Just type in there. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, that was our correct answer. So that's how I usually work. I work with the sheet and then the calculator on the left so I can quickly do calculations and find out the correct answer. And then say I want to do this one. Sometimes if you're having trouble and you can't click, just click outside of it when it's grouped, and then double click in the middle. So here I want to multiply 0.653 and 8. And so watch, you come on your calculator, you're like 0.653 times 8. Okay, so it looks like the correct answer. We'll put it at the end. 5.224, and then watch. So change this to like 3.17. They're just random answers. I don't know, so they know that they got the right answer. Okay, cool. So now that was all the practice I'm going to have to do. And then now I would want to talk about, dividing decimals. So I'm going to copy and paste these notes from multiplying decimals. And then you can double click here. You can paste them down here. That's what I want. Okay? Because I'm going to kind of make it the same format as the multiplying decimal one. And so watch, I can take 2 examples here and just put them right here. And look how I'm reusing. This is exactly what you would do if you had old sheets. You could copy and paste. I'll show you in just a second. You could copy and paste stuff from it. And so which brings up the good thing. You should always save your work pretty often. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Save. The best way to do this, okay, is to create folders for each week. So I'm going to go New Folder. Let's call this one Week 6. I think that's the week in residency. And then I would always give the concept. So I'm doing what? Decimals. Maybe this week. I'm going to go into the folder. Let me show you the best way to name them so they automatically organize themselves. Just put the date. So this was designed for 7/23. Just to help yourself, put Monday. Make it Monday. We'll go Week 6, and then do the concept. So this was multiplying, and I always like putting dashes between. It makes it easier for the computer to search for it. Dividing decimals. Okay, there we go. We're good to go there. And so watch, this time I wanted to introduce dividing decimals. So this is when the concept, we'll just talk about the concept. So the concept of dividing, so that's when I'll just underline that. Make it look all nicer. Let's see if let's underline that. Make it look all nicer. Let's remind them what the concept of dividing. So as far as they know up to this point, it's when we cut something in half, or 1/3, or 1/4. That's what they understand as dividing. And an example would be if we had maybe $1.75 and wanted to divide it, or let's not even use the word divide it. We'll just say split it between 4 people to give them to spend. Okay. So then, what numbers do we multiply? We just divide. We did 175 divided by 4. Okay, and another example might be if your teacher had, say, half a pizza, leftover pizza, and wanted to split it between, say we had 20 hungry students. Then let's see the numbers we would do. 0.50 divided by 20. Okay, and then maybe they come up with their own that they really want to share. Okay, so now watch, to show them this format. The reason why I came up with this format is it pretty much holds true. The same for division. So watch this. You just come here. You put both of them, Control C, and then you just Control V them. Watch. Let's just create a how-to, but instead, let me do this a little bigger. Let me make sure that guy is that big. 24.5. Okay, because the reason is watch. Now, all you need to do is the same thing, except here you're going to subtract. Okay. And so, but the other thing is, the only new thing is that you're not going to multiply the numbers, you're going to divide the numbers. And then, here's the deal. Now that we're subtracting, we're going to say the new decimal could either be positive or a negative. So we're going to say if positive, slide decimal to the positive, you do it to the left. And then watch, you can just copy that. Say if negative, slide the decimal to the right. And then, just to remind them, if there are, if blanks, fill in with zeros. Okay? Awesome. So now, let's make our example divide 0.54 and we'll do 0.9. Okay? So the only thing you might need to change is just change the multiplication thing to a, we're going to go to, we have to go to insert, we have to go to equation, click on that, and the division sign is right there. Alright, there we go, and the last time we didn't have it, let's add some answer keys. If I bring it down like that, it drags down everything. So remember, if you just want to change one thing, you have to ungroup it. So we come here, and we go to ungroup. And now, watch when I drag it down. Oops, you need a Control-Z. Make sure everything's unselected, so click somewhere. And now I can just drag it down. Watch, let me copy some answer choices. Oops. I have to click the end. There we go. Okay, and now just to check myself, I'll go 0.34 divided by 0.9. I put 6. So actually, I could just change it. Maybe 0.6. Maybe I'll make this like 1.5, and I do that 5.2. Just so they can make sure that they got the right answer. Okay? And then, watch, let's go to the next. This can get faster now. So watch, maybe we want to regroup these things back together because we ungrouped them. So range, we'll go to group. Okay? And it just looks slightly different up top because I had to shrink it a little bit, include the calculator. So now, we had to resize this, I remember. So I don't want to have to go through resizing it. I'm going to click this. And let's put that guy right here. So this is where, that was practice 1, let's do practice 2. Let's just make the same little changes. So watch, I'm going to copy this and put it right there. And then that's all we needed to do there. So let's say, here I want the practice problem to be divide 0.2 and 0.05. I'm going to make this step 1 and 2. Yep, that's all the same. The only thing I need to do is the answer choices. So let's quickly go over here. 0.2 divided by 0.05. Okay. Alright, so it's just 4. So let me put like maybe one of the answer choices. I'm going to make it like 0.54. Make this spot out 4 and maybe like 12. And so, watch, I can copy. Okay. And it should already fit because we sized it above. Nice. There we go. We can slide, maybe slide this one over a little. Slide this one over. Okay, nice. Let's change this problem to practice problem 3. And hopefully you're seeing once you make the format once, it's really easy to just copy and paste this scaffolding. So it really only takes time the first time. So let's do that, and I know this one off the top of my head, it should be 150, I believe. Yeah, you just double it. Okay, so we'll put 150 first, and then put like, I don't know, 240, and maybe like 330. Awesome. Okay, so now remember, we had to do all that, like, stuff with the borders, so let's just copy these two, and then let's go here. Okay, so now we kind of need to make the same changes. We need to put that division sign right there. The only reason I copy paste above, I didn't want to have to go in and change the, formatting automatically. And so let's do this one. We'll go. Yeah, let's call it student 1 and student 2. That's fine because now we're on the dividing, so it's kind of like a different section. So here I want to maybe. Oh, the way I did it quickly, if you click here and then you hit Shift and then click the end. It selects everything in between. I'm going to say divide 0.06 and 0.3. And then, so that should give me what, 0.6 divided by 0.3. Yeah, 0.2. Okay, 0.1. 0.254, 0.2, and then you add it right there, 0.456. Alright, and then let's make this last one divide 0.3 and 6. Kind of changing the order and changing the decimals. That should be what, 0.05? Check it. 0.3 divided by 6. Yeah. So let's make that the first answer first, maybe. 0.05. 1.4. And like I said, I'm just making up answers. Right? Boom. Okay. And so the only thing we have to do now is kind of make an exit ticket if we want it. But remember to save your work constantly. Just hit Control Save, or you go File and Save. And if you look here, this is the Dropbox thing. You can look at your version history. So every time you save it, there's a version history, which is kind of cool. And so, let's see. Real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Alright. Okay, so yeah, these are the last two times I saved it, and I saved it at 444, 443. So say something happens to it, it's automatically saved, and so you just need to make sure to save it periodically, okay? So if you wanted to, you could restore it to its current version. Okay, so now we just need to add an exit ticket. So look, this is all you got to do. It's pretty easy. We come here, let's just get a thick black bar, let's get a title. Black bar, let's go down here, and let's change it to, copy paste it. Like if you click Control, click both of them at the same time, might be a little hard. Yeah, you have to wait till it has that cross, and then, alright, yeah, let's just move it down a little. And let's change this to be exit ticket. Okay, so from here, watch. I'm just going to make my exit ticket one multiplication and one divide. So I'll come up here. Let me steal a multiplication. And then I'll change it from student. Instead of student 1, I'm going to put exit 1. And watch, I'm going to do the same two numbers, but I'm going to multiply them the first time and then divide them the second time. So I'm going to do 56.2. Alright, I think that would be 0.112. 56.2. Oh, sorry, I divided it. Times 0.2. Yep. So let's just change like this middle. Watch, I could just change this middle answer too. And this again, you could give to your high flyers if they're really pushing forward. Just be like, hey, try the exit ticket. Even though maybe the whole class isn't going to do it, like it gives them more practice. And watch, let's get a division 1. And we already actually found out our answer. Watch, let's just divide. So I was clicking and nothing's really happening. If you just click outside, click back in, and double click, that works a lot of times. Let's say 0.56 and 0.2. We already found our answer was 2.8. Make that like that. Get rid of that. Maybe. Okay. And there you go. You're going to hit save. Okay, so all in all, that took us about 40 minutes to do, but I was like slowly walking you guys through it. So really quickly, I could make that sheet probably in 25 minutes. Cut a lot of time, if not faster. So what we do, but obviously see, there aren't blanks a lot of times, they're just the notes. So how do we turn it into the sheet that we're going to give the students? So here's what you do. You go here, you go File, Save As. All you do is you go to the end and go dash student. So now we had kind of like an answer sheet, a semi-answer sheet, and then we do student, and look, all we have to do for the student. We're just going to put blanks where we want them to kind of fill it in. So for the math, we don't need to do anything in this thing. Okay, right here. Or let's start with our canvas statements. So maybe say explain. We want them to fill in real life. You need to be able to multiply, and then maybe just put a blank here. And then you can actually copy and paste the blank and put a blank there. There you go. That's how they do the I can statements. Constant multiplying when we double, triple, or just put a blank here. Make something and then maybe put a blank here, bigger. So they have to fill in 2 blanks there. And then here you can actually let them choose their numbers. So watch. We put a blank here. And watch this. We do 10 push-ups the first day and then double it to get. And you can put another blank here so you could ask like the question. Like give them easy questions to get them engaged at the beginning of the class. So be like, okay, so say Johnny said 15 push-ups and then we double it. How many push-ups are we going to do? 30. And then you want to ask them how many you did. So you just put that as a blank. Same thing here. Multiplying decimals. When we multiply by, let's say, we'll put a blank for not, because that's what we want to focus on, is multiplying decimals that are, those are numbers that are not whole numbers. And so you give them 2 decimals, scaffold that, they give you 2 decimals. Put the blanks where the things you want them to really focus on. So like here, I want them to focus on the price. So I put a blank right there. And then the other number, let's just drag it out a little. And then it's running in so we can move it over a little. There we go. And then obviously, so they get to pick the numbers. So then they're going to pick, tell you what they're multiplying. Same thing here. Get them to name you a meatball sub. They could do like 0.75 of a meatball sub, but some might pick half. Give them the ability to choose a number of students, and then they'll have to tell you what the 2 numbers are multiplying. Okay? Don't need to do anything there. Again, put the blanks for the numbers and the words you want them to really focus on. So right here, this could be a little bigger to help the students. So watch, I'm going to come here. Let's change it to 12. That was fine. Let's try bumping that up to 24 again. Yeah, that still looks nice. Okay, so write the number of decimal places in the... I want them to focus on writing it for the first and the second number, so that's why I'm making the blank. I'm going to leave add there. Obviously, I want them to focus on that, but I want to leave it bolded and huge for them to see. Add the number, I'll just change decimal places. And to get the, we'll say, the new decimal. Okay? And then multiply numbers, and we want them to focus on the word without because they want to get rid of the decimals. And then we want them to focus on the word new because we're going to add the new decimals. And so we slide the decimal to the blank and fill in any blanks with 0. That's how I would kind of go through and add the blanks. These I don't need to do because they're already the problems. I come down here, maybe add some blanks when we cut something in half, 1/3, or give them a chance to put like 1/4 or 1/5. And then again, you can watch. You can just take out the numbers so they get to pick their own numbers. And then they'll tell you what numbers we're dividing. Like, and these are just really, like, they help you get through the notes pretty fast so you can get onto the problems. They do understand that, like, they do get as much out of it as if they had to write down the whole thing. And you give them easy chances. That one, let's just make it a little longer. So I can put a bigger blank. It gives them easy chances for those who aren't maybe as good as the problems to like score participation and feel engaged by just doing these little easy fill in the blanks. Like the more you can get them plugged in, the better. And then same thing here. I want them to focus on maybe the write the number of decimal places in the first and the second number, and then subtract the number of decimal places to get the number of new decimals. Divide the number without, because that's what I want them to focus on. Then we want to add the new decimals. Oh, watch this. Scroll down. We don't want to forget that guy, okay? So if they're positive, we slide the decimal to the left. And because those are the 2 things I want them focusing on. And then recall, fill in blanks with 0. And then we should be good. I don't think there's any other blanks we need to do. Boom. So that was how easy you kind of turn it into a student sheet. Just save it. The only other thing from here on out is if you go to File, Save As. A lot of times printers only print PDFs in school, so you just come here and save it as a PDF. Click Save. Alright, so then watch when you open up your folder in your week 6, this is what you have. You have this guy. So this is like kind of your, so you can see. This was kind of our sheet without the blanks, sheet with the blanks, and a PDF printable version. So say we wanted to do the next day, watch, all you gotta do is this. And exit out here. We come back. Let's open up our sheet template. Okay, so watch this. Remember, Control or Command A, Control C, and then watch. Let's just get a new guy, new document, Control V. There you go. And now we can start, like, say, on Tuesday's sheet. So, say we wanted to do Tuesday's sheet. And hopefully you're seeing, like, this can be an easy way to do fast stuff really quickly. So that would be, like, 24th, week 6. Maybe when we want to do behaviors of decimals. And so watch this. This is a kind of an easy, quicker way to save it too now. Watch File, Save As. If you click on the name of your Monday sheet, watch, you can use the same format. Okay, 4, this is Tuesday, and instead of multiplying dividing decimals, we're doing behaviors of multiplying and dividing decimals. And remember, this isn't the student sheet yet. We'll save it and then just add the blanks to make it the student sheet. And then watch, if you wanted, this is the beauty of it, for the do now. You come here. Let's open up our old sheet. What I'm going to do is, I don't think a lot of the students will get to the exit ticket. I'm just going to come here, Control C. Let's make the exit ticket. Say, yeah, I'm like strapped for time. Like, I'm just going to make the exit ticket the do now. And so, watch this. I probably need to slide these things down. Yeah, there you go. Boom, you're already done your do now. And then watch. Say, we call this what? Behaviors of multiplying and dividing decimals. You start making this sheet. Watch, we can get rid of that. Let's just go to our old sheet. Watch. I want an I-can statement. And it'll stick right there. I'll fill that in later. You know, do that later. And watch. If I want to, this is the thing I want to review for class. And watch, I can stretch it out like this. And you see, so what's like how we multiply and divide decimals. So we're going to write the number of decimal places in the first and the second number, and then watch this. You could do like this. Regular. Watch, you just scroll over. To get the new decimals, so for multiplication, what do? You could say first, but you like do it write them in a different way maybe, and then they probably will retain it a little better. And then for division, because that was the only kind of different step, was that we had to subtract them, and then all we had to do was multiply or divide number without any decimal places, and then we add the decimal places to the numbers. And watch, we can come over here. Let's go down, and we had this nicer looking one. Copy and paste that. Boom. So if it's positive, just slide over. Boom. There we go. And then watch this. I'm going to slide this up here to give myself more room. So this might be where I try unscaffolding them and see how much they can do themselves. So watch, you can come here and just to start things off, you could do, or actually I delete those, I don't want those. I come over here, let's get one division one. And then we do like one together and one as a class, and then we'll do like one multiplication one. And then if I wanted to unscaffold it, watch this. You could just put watch, you just ungroup these. Maybe I don't want these anymore. I don't want any of this actually except the question and the answer. And maybe you want to add a stress. Show your work below. Okay, and then watch. I don't need that guy actually anymore. It looks like I could just do this, and then change this to practice 1, and we'll call this multiply. And then you just change the number. Change it to like 112 and 0.5. A little longer so it gets all on the line. And then yeah, then we change that to like 0.12 and 0.5. And then you just change the answer. So as you see, like once you make one of these sheets, like oops, and then you'd obviously change these to like zoom down. Once you make one of these, like you can just copy and paste from old sheets, and like it makes. Look, I'm halfway done Tuesday's sheet. So that was kind of a quick demo. The only other things you may need to know how to do is if you wanted to do different shapes, watch. You can do like these lines, like say you want to divide, like draw like, like this weird shape. You just do a different shape, and then you can change its outline just like we did for the do now ones, like size 3, that color font. And then that's the thing pretty much I ever use. Let's see. Yeah, that's really all I ever use. You could do multiple pages if you're working like that. So yeah, be sure to email me if you have any other questions. I included links to a lot of my sheets I use for math, and thanks for watching.